Hello, my name is Zhatelier and welcome back for another episode of Shadow Empire. In previous episode we got our armored battalion, or brigade rather, and now the battalion, so we've got two battalions over here in the northern front, or it's both, or the entire group is over here in the eastern front total, but on the northern flank there's a bit, and then of course we got three battalions over here in the south. They're not quite yet in the front line, but they will be arriving there in due time. Technically speaking, I could move them further, but I'm just going to let them be in here to get a bit of fuel and all that before we move across the river, and then hopefully start getting to this river point here, and we can maybe start pushing them a bit further north, or we can't cross the river and start cutting their supplies coming from further east, and that way they will probably have to retreat some of the troops, or, you know, if we can just have a bit of a defensive line over here, for example, for a while, then they might start to, well, I don't think they'll run out of supplies completely, but they will be inconvenienced at least, let us say. But we did the Eastern Front battles already. However, in the South, we did not do the combat yet. And of course, we just got some more replacements in here manually, so these won't be able to attack. The infantry could technically do something, but it's probably not going to be able to do much. I'm just going to move in some of the AA guns there, and then I guess these could move further as well. So now we've got a coverage at least on this entire area. So the tanks can't do much, but these could potentially, so that's a bit of leopards and all that sort of stuff in here. I'm just going to attack this enemy on the open though. Which, okay, we destroyed 10 tanks there. We don't have any more action points to attack anywhere else, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. At least we push them back from here, and I think the all-rounders over here will be able to keep the enemy at bay for the time being. And now that we've got the AA guns a bit closer, technically speaking, we could have one over there, come to think of it. And then we could have one over here. Let's do a quick strategic movement in there. Does cause a bit of issues for the logistics, perhaps. That does remind me, I should probably put in a traffic sign over here that we're not going to be sending any supplies to that way. Because that's kind of pointless, because there's a road already coming in from here. But, you know, having some supplies coming along this road might not be the worst. At least not always. But there we go, we had the battles there. We could, technically speaking, try to cut across the mountains here now, finally. I think it's time. There's a bit of motorcycles there and AA guns, but that's not really too bad. Let's go ahead and get a quick little dirt road across. Oh, right, we can't do that yet this round. And the recon can't actually move in there. We've got the barriers there, they'll probably stay put for now. We've got a bit of infantry over here as well, which could potentially push up to there. Oh, there we go. We'll clear out some of that, we'll pull back though, to have slightly better supplies at least. Because we don't have a lot right now, I'll be honest. And then over here, we did capture some of the area already. We've got the AA guns now in fairly good coverage. I'm going to move through here a little bit to cause some chaos. Technically speaking, these could move closer as well. And are these blockers ready to attack? I mean, it's going to be a river crossing into a jungle, or forest rather. So it's a bit rough terrain-wise, but we could probably do a bit of an attack in there. Technically speaking, I suppose I could pull in the mechanized infantry over here, or the, well, I suppose mostly the flak guns and anti-tank guns, but regardless, we can bring those in. We destroyed 30 tanks, of which, oh, one of the troop carriers got a kill on the enemy, okay. And then, of course, anti-tank gun got some kills there. Okay, so we need to get a bit of reinforcements for this one now. We can get some of the troop carrier 3s without too many issues, and that's about it in terms of reinforcements needed. Technically speaking, we can move the tanks across again. These could help moving in alongside. We've got the AA guns in here covering this area, and these AA guns, in theory, I don't think they'll be able to have the action points right now to help defend any of this stuff. But we've at least cut off a lot. Oh, right, now we've got the road connection in here. Let's have a look. How far can we get in here? Relatively far. I suppose it does. That's where the road ends for now. We can clear out a lot of this peninsula now, at least, and then start moving south along here, maybe, or along the road there. And by that point, we'll probably go on close to this city. Because with the tanks, we can probably clear out a lot of the enemy units over time. They've got to hold the line on the infantry here, though, so that might cause a bit of issues in terms of advancing further, but I think we'll be mostly fine for now. And then let's have a look at the northern front. So they, oh, right, they've managed to get a little bit of stuff in here. I do wonder if there's someone in there. Bit hard to tell. Okay, there wasn't anyone in there, so we're going to move in troops further along. We've got our recon in here, and oh, that's a lot of enemy units there, but let's use our all-rounders first to clear out this pocket of troops. There we go, we killed another 200. I think we're going to hold these troops here for now, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to attack this stack with the heavy tanks. Might be time for some of these to get completely destroyed. I mean, that's a 200 cavalry and 200 infantry. Technically speaking, all of those are just walkers, how the game classifies them, but regardless. And there we go, we cleared out the northern pocket that they had there. Oh, and this is actually 2 different areas as well. Interesting. Well, I suppose, yeah, we cut them off there now. That's good. There is a bit of enemies nearby the hidden village, which does concern me a little bit, but at least our tanks have now started destroying the enemies enough so that they're not going to be too much of an issue there anymore. There's still something in the peninsula in here, but I think we'll just keep it there for now. It's our private zoo, if you will. And then these can't really attack too much. I think we already had the combat with those, to be fair. We could use the range attack from here. The question is, of course, you know what, let's try to do a bit of a range attack on the tanks here. I don't know if we'll do any damage, but they don't have any entrenchment anyway. Well, we got at least 3 hits, but that might be about it. Yeah, no, not much damage to that. We got 60 tanks there. I don't think we're quite ready to attack them. We got the AA guns in here covering these 3 hexes, basically, and then we've got AA guns in here covering basically everything else. But these are, of course, not ready to move. Well, right, it's still the same route in it. Okay, well, let's head to the next one. We do have quite a bit of industrial points available right now, which is good. We might be able to start getting some more of the better mining as well. They have brought in a lot of troops to the southern flank there. As long as we can get our fuel into the troops again, then I think the things are going to be sorted fairly easily. But if we can't get the fuel in there, we might get pushed back again. Oh, there's a bit of an attack again with the tanks. They lost 75% of that attack, as far as we can tell. And we destroyed some of the artillery and a counter battery fire. And they're, oh wow, yeah, they're losing a lot of stuff in here. They keep on trying, though. I mean, props for that, I guess, but you know, they're not having a great time. I think we even shot down some of their planes there. Killed 100 infantry, 40 guns, 40 tanks. Oh, radioactives discovered in Taz. Oh. Oh, okay, the contract needs to be replenished. Let's start with that. Ooh, the price has gone up quite a bit. Well, yeah, money is starting to be a bit of an issue then. Economic Council, I don't think we need to do any changes on that one right now. And Applied Science, that's probably good enough, so no changes there. Computing node discovered in Spokane. Oh. 50 project points per round. Sure, we'll harness that. Church of Cindy requests a donation. I'm gonna say negative. I know that it's not actually good for the relations or anything like that. But at the same time, we don't really want to be spending all that much money right now. Disease in somebody. Oh, right, so there's the... we'll try to quarantine the affected populace of the... or due to the disease. We could try to study the disease, of course, but... no, we'll just try to quarantine the affected population. Ah, we failed. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Let's have a look at the trade. I think we may need to do some sales. We don't necessarily want to sell the fuel because we are going to need a lot of that. Metal, it's not necessarily something we are willing to sell either. I suppose rare metals is something we could probably sell a decent bit. Okay, that might be a bit too much. We'll sell, like, I don't know, 300 metal. It's going to give us so much credits that we don't need to worry about it for a while. We're also starting to get a bit of the high-tech parts. So I suppose at this stage it might be time to go ahead and upgrade the demetallization facility in here. I mean, it's going to take us 6 high-tech parts. It's going to take quite a bit of machinery as well, and a decent bit of metal and industrial points, although it's not really that much. It takes a long time to build it, but that's going to give us a lot more resources, and I think that's going to be worth it. So where was the radioactives in Taz? All the way there, okay. Good to know. Well, I suppose since we're in here, might as well have a look at what's in store for us. So is this the... that's the recon, so we can move that closer. That's a bit of soldiers in here. I guess we could do a quick range attack and then attack with everything that we have in the vicinity. Oh, killed at least 1. I think there was 4 total in there, as far as we estimated earlier. Or maybe just 100, I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and use the infantry, or all the troops in here to destroy it now. Well, we pushed it back. Oh, these could actually move in, so there's a bit of troops there. Hidden Village is probably having a bit of issues with the unrest and all that right now, because the enemy is getting a little bit closer. But at least the amount of enemies that are alive is definitely going down, because the fuel situation over here could be a lot better. Oh, and we do need a bit more ammunition, so let's get, well, maybe not quite that much. 3,500, for example, will do for now. And I think we might also want to get a supply base over here somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where exactly I want it to be, though. There could be somewhere in here. Is that... That's rocket planes? I mean, that's not necessarily the worst place to build. So we build one in here, I guess. And that was the supply base that we wanted. And then, of course, we'll build a bit of more road to get the supplies a bit further down this way. Okay, there's someone in... Well, I suppose there's someone there. Clear out some of the northern areas. And then I guess this one... The blockers could probably move in here. Oh, is that... Oh, that's a mountain. No wonder that we can enter there with the tanks. We can't attack in the forest right now either, but that's alright. We're definitely pushing them back now, so that's making quite a difference in the warfare there. We can't move into the mountains there either. There's a lot of anti-tank capabilities in here right now. I suppose one of the things that I could do is I could move the all-rounders and the blockers in here, and then next round we can start attacking down here into the cloud forest, which is going to be a bit tricky to pull off perhaps, but it'll be mostly fine, I hope. And that's the neutrals. Okay, so yeah, we're clearing out all of this is going to take a while, but that's fine. We've got the time. Then in the central front, we've... Oh, right, now we can build the road through here. We can now see a little bit better about the enemy, and I guess we could move these closer. I'll move in the... Oh, right, we moved the AA guns already out. I guess these could move a little bit closer as well, and then I guess I can get... Oh, there we go. We found some more flanking enemies there. They did move a little bit closer with the road. We got the Apaches in here. Oh, right. We got the Cobras as well. What do we have on here? So we've got the twin high-speed heavy machine guns, and we've got small rockets. Okay. The range is only 5 hexes, though, so air attacks with these are going to be somewhat limited in capability. They got a lot of air guns in here on both places, but I guess what I could do is I could do a bit of range attack on... Let's do on this one. If we could get rid of some of the air guns in here with the artillery, that'd be brilliant. Of course, recon isn't the best. And we didn't destroy anything, but we can at least start putting a bit more pressure in here. And that's going to start pulling some of the troops from elsewhere, hopefully. Ah, this one's still waiting for reinforcement in it. Okay, let's have a look at the replacement troops. How much do we need? Some machine gunners? We could try getting one of the Forlings. And an anti-tank gun. And that's about it. So we got the air guns in here, we got some more air guns in here. And we got the Hueys, which are still a bit low on fuel, so I don't think they'll be able to go very far. I guess what I could do, though, is I could use these tanks to clear out some of the enemy tanks in here. Oh, that's just the that's the motorcycle troops. That's a lot of recon that they're getting out of it, but that's going to be a lot of dead motorcycle units there now. There we go, that's 300 enemy infantry. We got a bit of tanks in the mountains, but I suppose the mountains defensive... Oh! It's actually a lot worse defensive for tanks than what it is to attack in there with tanks. Of course, you know, it's a bit rough to get in there with tanks anyway. So how much is the defensiveness in here? I mean, if it's minus 75%, we've got a lot of hit points apparently, but it might be something that we could deal with soon enough. Especially with some of the trimmer guns and all that, but I think it might be best to just wait there for a brief moment. Try to get a bit more of the fuel into the network and all that. And then I suppose it might be time for these tanks to get into the position and attack across here. Or towards the river, and oh yeah, that's the first battle for these particular units, and we are already getting through quite nicely. And I guess I can use these two to attack it into the forest and clear out the enemy there. There we go, that's another 20 tanks destroyed. Not quite as much as I was hoping for, but it's still better than nothing. And then I guess it might be time to start moving some of the infantry forward. I might move in the air guns down here. So that means that these units are now without air coverage per se. Or anti-air units at least supporting them. I do wonder, actually, should we do a ranged attack on that stack? I know that we destroyed quite a few of the enemy units in here. Oh, right, they got some machine gunners and all that sort of stuff. That's not the airfield that they are using, though, is it? I could do a bit of an attack there, regardless. Okay, no, it's just the machine gunners and some of the machinery that they found, all the units that they found. They can't reinforce those. I don't think it will do a lot of damage on them, admittedly. Then they got the artillery in there. I think these are going to get attacked quite a few times still. And we don't have the action points or fuel or anything like that to attack into the mountains here. At least not yet. But we're starting to get a bit more troops in here, and I suppose we've got the Hueys over here. Would that be a wise idea to do a bit of a ranged attack? You know what, before we do the ranged attack, let's use the grasshoppers to do an air recon on that one. Might pull back some of the... Oh yeah, they shot one of the grasshoppers. But that's fine. That's actually going to allow us to replace some of those with newer ones. Which will use a bit less fuel, in fact. Although, let's double check. What was the difference between the recon air that we have? So this one's got... What's 1.2 fuel, and this one's got 1.2 fuel, so it's not actually that. It's a bit more hit point, like one more hit point, I guess. Huh, so yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, right, didn't this one have a larger carry capacity? Yeah, I believe it's 250 kilos. So yeah, it's not really that much better in the recon as a recon unit necessarily, but that's alright. Then, in the north, we could probably do another attack on the... Okay, that's a heavy forest. How bad is that for defending an attack? Okay, it's minus 70 for attack. And that's a jungle, which is minus 80 for attack. Okay, are we able to do an attack? Okay, we're going to attack that one, I guess. Well, I guess that is what we'll attack then. Oh, they destroyed some of our unit as well. Well, we pushed them back, but yeah, the losses weren't great. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stay here for this round. I'm going to get the reinforcements in here, so I guess there's so many tanks in here that all-rounders are going to be needed. Get one all-rounder 3 in there, and then I guess the other one is going to get one as well. I don't suppose the Ravens or anything like that over here can do an air attack on the... No, those can't do an attack. The Hawks can't do an attack, and, well, this group could actually do an attack. Do an attack on the enemy artillery. They probably have some interceptors still. Yeah, they do. Ooh, we shot down the fighters, okay. We destroyed 10 guns as well. Okay, well, that was pretty effective. Could, of course, be even heavier catalyst for the enemy, but you need to start somewhere, right? So that's a good start. And now we've got a decent bit of tanks in here, and the enemy the enemy tanks have been destroyed enough that they're not really that big of a problem anymore. But they keep trying to do counterattacks, but it's not really going all that well for them. And if we could get this airfield in here, that'd be brilliant, but I don't think we'll be able to reach there anytime soon. But at least we now gain some land, and of course this one was a bit of a nice breakthrough thus far already. Oh, is there any truck station? No, there's no truck station in this particular location. It could be useful. We've got a truck station there already. I suppose one other thing that we could do is get a supply base in here. It's going to be a bit far away from the stuff, so it's going to have some issues. Well, let's get a supply base there. And then we're going to get a truck station over here. I suppose we could turn this into a city. I know that they've got their own city over here, I suppose. But, well, yeah, we'll have to think about that, actually. Could technically speaking move back to the road here. Oh, there's the computing node. Okay. So we are at least keeping the enemy at bay here in the south. They've got quite a bit of tanks overall, but we are dealing enough damage that they can't really do too much about it. And the eastern front, I mean, there's not too much happening there, so I'm just going to double check the northern areas. Did we do the fighting there already? By the looks of it, yes. Well, it's off to the next round then. They're trying to go around the coastline there. I think the infantry over there is going to be attacked soon. I think if we can pivot our tanks to outflank them again, we'll be fine. Oh, there's a bit of artillery strike on our light or medium tanks here. They tried to attack, but they didn't really do a lot of damage. And our counter battery fire killed... Oh, we destroyed some irregular tanks as well. Okay. They're looting a lot of stuff here now. I think we're getting close to a breakthrough in the Eastern Front. Oh, okay, well, there's a bit of infantry on... Okay, there was a lot of air attack there. But, you know, losing 1 infantry unit for that is not too bad. So we killed 10 guns, 30 tanks, so we lost 100 infantry. I think that's a fair trade. Oh dear, it's a crisis of passion again. I think that's the 3rd one already. Aha, civilization level did go up. And we've got the jetpacks researched, and the Roller 3 has been completed. Not that we have any of those. Even the previous versions demand the number of hexes of which we have recon, which is 4,000. I'm going to refuse that demand. It's going to be pretty difficult to get that. Foreign Affairs Council, no, we don't need to do any changes there. Military Research Council, okay, so we go for the... I'm going to go for the heavy guided RPG now. And then I guess we need to do some more designing, don't we? Actually, we could develop or get a new version of the Shredder. We don't have any of those yet. But I do realise that, well, I mean, it's got the high velocity gun there, which we could even go for a bit heavier in that regard. Going to be using a bit more ammo, but the firepower is going to be increased. We'll go for the 150mm high velocity gun, but then we're going to switch from the 100mm steel plating to, let's say, 50mm polymer plating, which is going to reduce the weight rather drastically. And then we're going to keep the engine as the double diesel engine. People have seal a toxic breach. Locals of Kazuraptor have managed to seal off a ruin polluted with toxic chemicals. They have been on it for years without success. Then a newly arrived artisan visited the site and came up with a brilliant solution. I would like to give a reward. However, should I reward all for their effort or just the artisan for actually sealing the ruin? I think I'll reward all but give some more to the artisan. It's slightly illogical to choose to do this. I think we're going to just reward the guy that solved the issue. Shows the Syndicate requires a donation again. Well, I suppose we got the money now, so we can do that. A disease in somebody. We are going to try to quarantine. Aha! We managed to reduce the speed of the spreading of the disease. That's good. Bruderland demands release of spy. Yes, we'll return the spy and refuse a payment. So not only will that improve the relations with the enemy, well, rival rather, let's just say, but also get rid of potential risk of them attacking us. Okay, so there's quite a bit of enemies in here. Let's just go ahead and break through this bit of troops first. It looks like, oh, there we go, yeah, we killed 200. Now we're getting closer with, we got the red bar now. Just clearing out a little bit of the desert in here. Not necessarily very effective use of our time in there. Oh, that's a lot of enemies, though. And then I guess we could use the tanks over here to clear out some more of the enemy. Oh, there we go. That's 300 kills already. There we go. That was rather quick. Move the recon in. Oh, well, we found some more troops. I think they're starting to... Well, actually, they've got a fairly good readiness in here still. But they're starting to get to the point where they might not really be able to hold us back for much longer, let's just say. Don't know. Is that one... Like, there's an enemy here. Oh, it's over there. Okay, so these can actually move closer. We'll just hold on to these, all this front line here now. Then let's have a look at the western fronts. So we know that there's a lot of motorcycle troops there. We can't actually attack that one. We also know that there's a fair bit of RPGs in there. The guided RPGs and combat armor. So they got a fairly good attack against armored targets. Of course, we got the blockers in here and all around. I think we could probably defeat them. Especially if we use a bit of infantry as ablative armor. Ooh, well, we destroyed one truck. But yeah, no, this was a bit of a failure of an attack. There's a lot of infantry with us, there's lots of there. Okay, well, let's get the reinforcements for these real quick. I'm going to get some more blockers for this one. I think it was the blocker that we lost. Actually, now we've got even more blockers. But, you know, there's a lot of infantry type of things in there. This is probably going to be fine. There we go. We've got the reinforcements set up already. I guess what I could do is I could move in the AT guns in here. So I got a bit of tanks there. Currently on the hold the line thing. Okay. There's still a bit more over here that we need to clear out, but that will get sorted out, no doubt. Then in the central area over here, we do know that there's a bit of motorcycle troops there. They've got a lot of AA units here. So if we were to do a range attack on this stack, I'm hoping that we can start dealing a bit more damage on the enemy AA units so that we can clear out the skies for our helicopters to do some strikes on them. But that didn't happen yet. We do have the barriers. I mean, how much? Right, it doesn't really do a lot of damage, does it? No. It's got the AA range. And it's got... yeah, no. This needs to be in the back row, essentially, is what I'm gathering from there. Then in the south, we know that they've got a bit of tanks in here. Let's go ahead and start clearing out some of that, at least. Or get pushed back, I guess. Yeah, we got pushed back. We did destroy 10 of the tanks. I could maybe pull this one back. I'm going to move this one south to block that one, and that can't really move right now. We've still got troops in here, I guess. Well, since we've got the tanks in there, I think that will mostly hold. I could use the Hueys to do a bit of airstrike in here on these tanks. They got no planes in here to stop us, so there we go. That's 10 tanks destroyed. I guess there's another tank in here somewhere that we can't see. Or not. Okay, I don't know. Well, they lost a bit of tanks. Is that one? That is more tanks in there, but these have dug in, which just don't have a lot of anti-tank stuff in there, which could be an issue. So I guess an airstrike on that one would have probably been a smarter way to do it. But oh well. So there is a lot of tanks across the river here, plus some infantry. But that is grassy plains. Ooh, we don't get any penalties attacking there. Oh, well, can we... Oh, we can attack. Good. So we'll send at least these two, and maybe we'll send one of these tanks across as well. Okay, we're taking a bit of casualties, but we're also inflicting quite a bit of casualties for the enemy. Okay, we pulled back. We lost 20 heavies and 10 blockers. But we destroyed, let's see, we destroyed 40, no, actually, that's only 30 tanks in here. Another 30 there, so that's 70 tanks total that they lost. I mean, you know, could be worse. Let's get the metalheads replaced, first of all. And then I suppose the blocker over here could be replaced as well. I guess these, well, we're slowly starting to get maybe a little bit of the fuel, but it's still not looking great in terms of the fuel sort of deliveries and all that. We could also try attacking this stack here with the... Oh, well, I suppose actually we can't. I think we're just going to leave these troops here for now, or like for this round. We do have a bit of, well, I suppose the grasshoppers. No, I'm not going to use those this round, actually. Just save up on the fuel a little bit. And then air attack with these. I could maybe start clearing out some of this stuff. There's also that one I could join in. They got no interceptors in this. Oh, there we go. Well, we destroyed 10 tanks at least. Clearly not quite enough, but there is a lot of artillery in there. Can we... I don't want to move this infantry, actually, anyway. It's in a bit of a precarious situation, quite frankly, and this is on the hold the line. Oh, right, with the hold the line, we can't really do a lot of damage anyway. There's a bit of infantry in there. There's a few tanks over there as well. What are these? These are the Hueys and the Hawks, so these... Oh, they don't have the range. Okay. So not much they can do. Did we... Oh, right, that's already been moved out. Okay. Move this one down south again. Leave someone over here near the road, and then I guess this one could go to Albertus, so we'll have a bit of troops there. Just in case. Do say they'll have a bit of artillery in here, but I know that there's a lot of enemy artillery in the map. How large are these? They got the heavy combat armor, they got 240mm howitzer guns. So a bit on the heavy side, I dare say. Yeah, maybe one of the things that I could do is a bit of a range attack on this stack. Actually, you know what, I'm going to use both the artillery groups. Oh, they killed 10 of our guns. But that does mean that we can actually replace those with the new ones then. With the AG3s. They're a bit more expensive, and it's going to be using a lot more ammo, no doubt. But that will be definitely an improvement in the firepower. Like, if we... Well, actually... It's an extra hits, I suppose, is what it does. Yeah, it's 2 extra hits per round. And I suppose it does have a bit of extra attack as well. Not massive attack. But hit points do go up a lot there. So that's good. I still got the flak guns in here covering most of the stuff. I guess these could still do an attack, right? No. I think we may have done one with them already. But I do see that we are actually out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you have it already. Also, the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.